Hi, this is Steve Kostansky, director of Psycho Gorman, and you're listening to the Horror Squad podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Horror Squad podcast. This is episode number 342, where tonight we are going to be talking about A Quiet Place, Day 1 from 2024. I am here, of course, as always, with Steve and Todd. I'm going to be scatterbrained all day today. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize in advance because I just came back from Monster Mania convention, so I'm a little tired, but we're gonna get through this episode. But gentlemen, how are you doing? How was your weekend?
It was fine, normal stuff. Quiet Place Day 1 or Quiet Place Day 2 and 3? We'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it later.
Fascinating. They
Yeah.
call that a tease.
That's right. Nothing new with me. I fell off a ladder because I'm old, and that's about as much going on. Yeah.
People, I was hanging out with the homies. We had a movie night this weekend, and we were talking about how if someone falls, what is the proper etiquette before you can laugh? Seeing if they're okay first, right?
Yeah.
But
Sure.
are you gonna laugh every single time? Because I'm laughing every single time. Every single time. If
Depends
they're
on
okay.
the severity, I think. Yeah, exactly. In my situation, everyone just froze. They're like,
Dude,
"Oh
they
shit,
thought you were dead, dude.
yeah.
Did you go?
Yeah, no. I just like, I was
broke
more
my
like
ass.
disappointed than I was like, yeah. It's tough. Ladders are tough, man. Like,
What was the height?
oh, I was only 4 or 5 feet up.
That's the
Okay.
death range,
Yeah,
man.
it is.
Like,
Yeah, 6 feet.
That's
I,
They
I'm
death
said it.
range.
I'm in my laundry room. It's not like I'm,
You fell on like
outside,
tile
like,
floor?
yeah, on tile floor.
Where'd you
Uh,
land on? Your hip?
my back.
Ooh.
I got a pretty well
You-
back arm, like kind of a mix
Did you
of
fall
both.
this straight backwards like Clark Griswold? And
Like yeah, like a wrestler's bump, like
Shit.
yeah, no, it's fine. It
I
is
want to
what
know
it is.
how you fell though. Like what happened? Like what
So
what led to
well,
the fall?
like I have big feet and the fucking rungs are like 2 inches long, so I just missed my step,
Missed
like
out.
I'm trying to come down and
Hmm.
just went fucking down.
And well, glad you're all right. Still
Yeah.
funny, but
Yeah, no, I'm fine.
glad
I'm
you're
fine.
right.
It's just goddamn age. It's no fun. All right, let's continue the age podcast.
Right.
Old guys bitching about their.
My foot hurts today. Must be rain coming in.
Well, we're glad you're okay, Steve, and that you're on this episode. So, well wishes to you.
I wasn't gonna miss it. Come on.
Yeah. All righty, gentlemen. I think that's about it for our little intro. So why don't we just get right into what watched, gentlemen? What you been watching this week?
I'll lead us off. In honor of Shelley Duvall passing away a couple weeks ago, rest in peace. I watched The Shining, and I rewatched it. Obviously, seen it shitload of times, and I focused on watching her performance, just like I did with David MG from Dawn of the Dead. Focused on just on his. I mean, man, she's fucking good, dude. She's so good in this movie. Everyone obviously is good, from Danny to fucking Scatman to Jack Torrance, obviously. But yeah, the movie. I'm not gonna. We did a double feature on it, didn't we? Or did we only do the TV show version?
We did both.
Did we do both? So yeah, you can hear about our thoughts about that. But yeah, The Shining is a near perfect film. 5 out of 5 for me on Letterboxd. I just appreciate something about it every time I watch it. And like I said, this one was Shelley Duvall's performance and her fucking face, man. Her reactions to things, her acting ability, like you really feel like she's in mortal danger, and that's solely because of her. So shout out to her. I know she had a rough life later on in her life. Hope she finds peace, and fantastic performance, fantastic film, and that's Shining over on Blu-ray.
Awesome. All right, I'll go next. So we got a screener in for a movie that's releasing on Screenbox on Tuesday, which is August 13th, and that is 2024's We Are Zombies. So We Are Zombies is from the crew that made Turbo Kid in summer of '84. I think they call themselves like RKS or something like that, similar to like Radio Silence type of deal. It's 3 filmmakers from Montreal, my hometown, and this story is basically without spoiling anything, obviously. It's post-apocalyptic. There are zombies, but the zombies in this world don't eat people. They just kind of slowly decay. So when you first die, you're still have like some functions. You can still talk a little bit. You can still like do stuff. You're just like kind of slowing down as time progresses. And because of that, people are like hiring zombies to do like cooking jobs and stuff like that, which is taking away jobs from humans because zombies don't get tired. And there's like this whole controversy, like kind of political controversy with that. Meanwhile, these three young people, they work for a service where, well, there's a service out there from a big company where they remove zombies for a fee because people get tired of their zombie relatives and they want to kind of just get them taken care of. So that's what they do. They remove them from the house. Well, these three kids, they pretend to be that company and remove the zombies. But what they do with them is sell them to this artist who uses the zombies for installations and do these crazy art things with them. And then a bunch of shit happens because the company finds out, and that's basically where the story goes, is them being in trouble with that company and trying to kind of make amends with that. So I won't go further than that because it is, not even out yet at the time of this recording. I really love this. Like, it was a really fun movie. At first it's a little slow, and I'll admit that not all of the jokes were really like funny to me. Like, some of them felt a little bit too easy in my opinion. But after the first half, once you get kind of the story going and explain the world and what they're doing, all that stuff, it gets pretty fucking crazy. I'm not going to say why, but things happen where there's just, it ups the violence and it ups the gore, and the fucking practical effects are top notch. Like, I really fucking love the practical effects in this. I don't think they used any CGI. Maybe they did, but it would be very little if they did. I was really impressed with this movie. It's a fun time. It's a great movie. I mean, no, I don't think it'll make my top 10 of the year or anything, but it's one that I think people should check out, especially it's on Screenbox. If you have that service, I think it's an easy one to watch. If you've seen Turbo Kid in Summer 84, you'll probably get like a gist of what type of comedy they usually go for. They're kind of, the consistent, I guess you can go with the movies, but I think this is one that you should have on your radar and check out, especially if you like zombies and especially if you like practical effects. And the zombies look great, by the way. Fucking top-notch looking zombies in this. So that's We Are Zombies, coming out on Tuesday, August 13th on Screenbox. I gave it 3.5 stars out of 5.
Very nice. I have nothing this week. I got a Monster Mania breakdown, so I don't know if you guys want to talk about your other two movies, and then I
Sure.
can end off with that.
Monster Mania. Yeah, I have 2 cons coming up too. I got Horror Hound
Nice.
next month, which I'm excited for, and then Scarefest down in, I think, Louisville or Lexington, Kentucky, which is fucking stacked. I'm pumped for that one. But yeah, my last one is Video Murders from 1988. This is, I think, from Vinegar Syndrome or maybe Severin. I don't know. But it's about a dude, like a younger guy, maybe like mid-20s or whatever. He's a fucking creep. He's all sweaty and grimy, and kind of not like maniac level. No one can get maniac level sweaty and grimy, but he's almost there. And his whole thing is he has like a VHS camcorder, and he goes up, picks up hookers and stuff. He's like, "Yeah, come back to my house. Like, I'll pay you $500." And of course, the ladies are like, "Well, I'm only charging fucking 50, bro. You're offering me 500. I'm in." And then he goes to the house and he has like he'll like have them like go to the restroom or whatever, and then he'll start recording himself like, "Hey, this is John, and tonight I'm gonna film," and like he's talking to an audience, but obviously he's not. And then when the hookers come out, he ends up strangling them, and that's his whole thing. He films like that's him killing people. Meanwhile, there's this detective that like is super creepy, man, because he's interviewing this nurse who happens to be a little person, and he's like he's kind of condescending to her, and he's also very close to her. Like, I know in framing you have to have the shot like the actors close together, but he's like 3 inches from her, and it's really weird. And he's smiling creepily and stuff and talking about her height and making height jokes, and it was just weird. But with the title, with Video Murders, I expect murders, right? And there was only one murder. So let's figure this out. So Video Murders from 1988. I gave it 2-star because it is pretty entertaining. It was pretty fun to watch in a group. But the title is very misleading, and it was like, extremely low budget, but still pretty fun for 88. So 2 out of 5, and that's over on Blu-ray.
Sounds good. So my final one comes with a call to arms to our listeners, because it is that time, folks. Our 1960s top of the decade episode is coming within a few weeks. So it's that time that we ask for everyone to send their lists of their top 10 films from the 1960s. Just send it to any of the three of us or one of our official accounts anywhere you can reach us, because I think we're going to need some help on this one. I don't think a ton of people will be able to put out 60s lists. It is kind of a black hole for a lot of people, and I'm totally guilty of that as well. That's why I've been kind of pushing 60s films in the last little while. So yes, please send us your top 10s, and I really look forward to kind of discussing the 60s and seeing what people put on their lists. And speaking of which, I continued on my quest to find more 60s films for my list, and I watched 1963's Black Sabbath, which is directed by Mario Bava and stars and is hosted by Boris Karloff. So this one I watched on probably Tubi, if I remember. So there are two versions of this film I found out through IMDb. There's an Italian version and an American version, and apparently they're pretty different from each other. So I saw the Italian version, just so you know, because the stories are in a different order, and apparently they've changed some stuff within the film as well. So in my version, so like I said, Boris Karloff, he hosts the kind of films because it's an anthology, and there are three films that he talks about. He starts off, he's just kind of Boris Karloff, just hanging out, doing his thing, and he introduces the stories one by one. The first one is a story by the telephone. A woman gets a strange call of someone who's threatening her, and she's scared. She's in her house or apartment alone, and she calls her friend. Like, this person is she's threatening over the phone, and he knows what I'm doing because he can see me. I don't know where he's coming from, and kind of the story goes from there. The friend comes over, tries to help her out, but there are some tomfoolery going on, and that's basically the story. Is about a stalker going after this woman. I personally did not love this story. I'm not a home invasion fan. It just doesn't appeal to me in any way. So I'm just not the audience for stories like this. It doesn't scare me whatsoever. So maybe that's why. So that's easily the least favorite of the three stories for me. The second one actually stars Boris Karloff. It's called Wordalak. It's basically a vampire story of Boris Karloff. He's this vampire, and he's going into town, and he's starting to turn people in the town, and the townspeople are trying to stop him. This one has really cool colors. It's really well shot. It's got great sets. Boris Karloff is really awesome in his role. He looks fucking freaky as the vampire in this film, so I really dug that. It's a bit slow as far as pacing goes, but I think overall it was good. I'd give it kind of a 3 out of 5 type of deal on the second story. So that's Wordalak. And finally, the last one, it's called the Drop of Water. This kind of housekeeper, the person she keeps the house for, passed away, and she doesn't want to deal with the body because the body freaks her out. So she calls someone in to deal with the body, and sure enough, the body is one of the fucking worst nightmare fuel things I've ever seen in my life. It's creepy as hell, in a good way. I love seeing creepy shit like that. And as she's taking care of the body, she steals a ring off the body, so the body starts haunting that woman, and then just a bunch of other stuff happens as they do in these stories. Absolutely loved this story. Great cinematography, genuine scares. The makeup is really, really good. This fucking story brought up the film considerably for me. So for this story alone, I would recommend watching it. But overall, it's a pretty good film. Something I would recommend if you're doing a 60s list. I gave it 3.5 stars out of 5. So that's Black Sabbath 1963 over on Tubi.
You should see if you have Peeping Tom on Tubi, Steve. I just watched it.
It's on my list.
Okay, cool.
Excellent. Yeah, that's one I have never seen. So I've always wanted to, just never jumped on that train. So that may be something I'll have to do within the next few weeks. I've been slacking on my 1960s, so it's going to be a
real hard one.
Yeah, it's gonna be a real fucking full court press over the next 2 weeks to get some stuff done. I mean, my top 6 or 7 is definitely, I feel 100% locked in. So it's just kind of finding those last few gems that I may not have seen yet and stuff like that. So I'm excited. I'm excited to tackle some. Alrighty. I didn't watch anything this week, but I did attend Monster Mania convention in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. if you're in the area, I definitely always highly recommend this convention. It's one of the first horror conventions I ever attended, and I just go back every single year. They do it in March and August every year. They also do a show out in Baltimore, Maryland, and they just added a show in Oaks, Pennsylvania as well that they do in November, which I think I might actually try to check out this year because they're doing a huge Alien and Aliens reunion. So I might go check it out. But anyway, Monster Mania 59 was this weekend. I went mainly because Clive Barker was going to be there, and he announced that he is no longer going to be doing conventions. So I knew it was going to be my last opportunity to meet him. They also had so obviously it was a big Hellraiser reunion. All the Cenobites were there, along with Craig Sheffer and Ashley Lawrence and whatnot. There was also Robert Englund was there, so they had a 40th anniversary Nightmare on Elm Street reunion with him and Heather Langenkamp, Amanda Wyss, Ronnie Blakely, Juliette Lewis was also there, William Shatner, big guest list. Yeah, so overall, I mean, the con was really solid. They definitely had some problems with the heat, no doubt about it. Steve, I know off air you said you wanted to ask me something. Is that what you were gonna address?
Yeah, I'm hearing stories of people passing out in lines and
Yes.
like all
Yeah.
sorts of shit. Yeah, it was apparently the
Yeah.
venue was bad.
So yeah, it was like, it was like in the high 90s. And that, I mean, it's no fault of the convention. It's the venue, man. Like they've outgrown that venue. They outgrew that venue like years ago. And it's just like so congested, so packed. And I mean, yeah, they were just unprepared for the heat. The venue was unprepared for the heat. And yeah, I saw a few people fucking on the ground passed out like from the heat. Yeah, it was tough, man. The celebrity room was just brutal, like just so muggy, just no airflow. I can't imagine what the celebrity saw because at least I could leave that place. They were fucking having to be stuck in there. I will say they did fix it, but it was not until like the very end Saturday night. Like once the panel started, the con was already over for the day. Like I actually was cold in the panel, like in when they started doing the panels in the room. So they did work it out, but yeah, I mean, the hotel's so dated too. They definitely need to upgrade that place for sure or move. I was telling Sam, I was like, man, like Monster Mania used to be my favorite convention, but I'm leaning towards Texas Frightmare now, just due to like their venue change and moving to that convention center and everything. And if Monster Mania does the same thing, I think they could definitely get up there again due to the talent they brought in. But yeah, so besides the heat, it was still a great con. It was no fault of the con. It was just they need to definitely work out some kinks, and hopefully the hotel learned some things. They did bring in like portable ACs eventually, but it was just like you should have like thought of this shit. You knew it was gonna be fucking 90 degrees all weekend. You should have thought of this shit. So anyway, yeah, so the first thing I did was I went and knocked out Clive Barker. I had a line skip for him. Yeah, man, like it's a little sad. He's definitely looking frail these days, which is, I'm assuming, why he's starting to retire from the con circuit. He said he's going to continue writing and whatnot, but yeah, man, I don't know. It didn't even look like he could like lift his hand to write. So if he is going to write, he's definitely going to need a ghostwriter or something like that. But I mean, he was in good spirits. He shook every single he shook my hand. He shook like almost everyone's hand in line and stuff like that. The room was like very cool too. He had like all of original artwork and like a ton of his books and stuff like that. He was selling artwork from anywhere from $500 to $5,000. I did consider buying like a small piece, but there was nothing that like spoke to me or like stuck out. So I skipped on that. I did get, man, we can get into like celebrity autograph pricing because it's just gotten fucking outrageous at this point. But he was charging 90 and he used to be 80, and I think at one time he was 60, so it continuously rises. But I did get 2 autographs from him. I got him on my big, massive poster project, and then I got him on a Lament configuration because I just felt like it's the last time I'm going to ever be able to meet him, so might as well get him on that too. But yeah, he was great. He loved the poster. He was very impressed by it. So that was cool. He was like he was looking at all his movies on the poster, obviously Candyman and Hellraiser, and looking to see if I got all the signatures from that. So that was cool. Yeah. So, but all right. Like, I want to take some, like, just some weird stuff. Man, to me, it was like make it make sense, right? Because when you're going into his room, were required to wear a mask, right? But then in the photo ops, you don't have to wear a mask. But then he's also shaking everyone's hand and stuff like that. So I'm just like, why are we wearing masks if the dude is like, if he's concerned about his health, why is he's shaking hands with everyone? He's like shaking hands with everyone in the photo op room and stuff like that I didn't understand. They also had HEPA filters throughout the entire room, like putting like pure air through and stuff like that. I know the dude's immune system probably isn't good. So it's either like protect your health and like don't be shaking people's hands, or like, don't wear a mask at all. I don't know, but that's just sort of a random
It's odd.
tidbit.
It's odd.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I mean, not odd. Like, do what you gotta do to make yourself at ease. But like, I think one of the worst places to go if you don't want to get sick is the con or like an
Right.
airplane, and you probably did both. So
100%.
bummer.
Yeah, man. It's like, protect your, like, I appreciate that you're going to be out there for the fans. And if your immune system is that bad, like, you should not be shaking hands with people. Like, but he was doing it. I shook it because he literally put his hand out. I wasn't expecting it. And
You should have coughed in it right away. Went, hold and then
he was very gracious. He was great. And then I met William Shatner. He had no line at all, which I was kind of surprised about. Just like walked up to him, and then I saw his pricing, and I saw why he didn't have a line, because his pricing was fucking outrageous. But I had already purchased a Michael Myers mask for him to sign, so I was like, I mean, I guess I might as well, get him to sign it. Otherwise, it's just gonna be on my mantle blank. And the dude's 93 or 94. So I'm like, I'm probably never gonna have the chance again. So will I regret this? Maybe. But yeah, he was charging 150, which is just crazy to me. That's not Robert Englund was charging less than that. Which we'll get into Robert Englund next. But yeah, 150. I was like, oh my God, it doesn't even come with a photo. If you wanted a photo, it was an extra $100. And you couldn't even go like behind the table to get your photo with him. You had to just like turn around, and he was like fucking like 20 feet away from you, like in the photo. So I'm so glad I didn't do that, because like I considered for a second, I was like, I guess it'd be kind of cool if like I'm holding my Myers mask with him, like, and stuff. But yeah, no. And then, but I can't blame the guy. I mean, he's fucking 93. So like, he's got to protect himself. So the fact that he's even doing these cons is cool, but definitely price gouging.
What's his
the
reaction
fans.
to the Myers mask? Nothing.
None.
None?
Like it was. I think I said like 2 words to him. He's
Hi,
very.
sir.
Yeah, I mean, the dude. I can't. I don't know. Like, I don't. Steve met him like years ago. I don't know if he's always been like this, but I mean, he's like at 93. I'm just like, whatever. Like, the fact that he's actually signing my mask, I'll just take that as a win. He did say like hi, and and then he was just like, where do you want this signed? And like I pointed, and he didn't sign it exactly where I wanted, but I'm like, all right, whatever. It's close enough. And yeah, that was it. And then I was like, all right, thanks. It was a pleasure meeting you. He's like, oh yeah, it was a pleasure. Thanks. And that was it. It was very brief, right? But he wasn't a jerk or anything. I've heard he's like a jerk to people and stuff. But my experience was just like, okay, like it was fine. Like, but Steve, how you said you had a bad experience with him, right?
Yeah, it's not that. It's just so I met him and then I saw him, and I'll explain why the difference. So when I met him, I was in a line, and he doesn't even like, because it's a line, you're alone with him, so it's probably different. He didn't even look up. Like literally, I paid the person. Okay, I picked my print. The person pushed a friend in front of it. He signed it. He pushed it out. Didn't so much as lift his head to say anything, right? And I think I tried to say something. He just didn't ignore it. And this is like 10-15 years ago at this point. The second time I was in Doug Jones's line, and Doug Jones, like, he's like 5 minutes per person. He's a talker, he's a hugger, he's like, it's a whole thing with Doug Jones. He's like amazing, right? And Shatner was right next to him, so I had a lot of time to watch Shatner's line. No joke, I think Shatner would pass like 20 people in the same amount of time Doug Jones did one, because he doesn't interact. He's there almost to make money. And I was counting that 20 people, it was $100 at that time. That's fucking $2,000 he made in the same amount of time that Doug Jones made $40. It was wild. And he wasn't rude. He seemed like he was just there for the money.
Yeah, that's a bummer. I guess I had a slightly better reaction. He definitely looked up. So I guess I'll take that as a win. And then what else did I do Friday? Oh, I cosplayed as Freddy Krueger for a little while, so that was fun. It didn't seem as hot Friday, but that was also because it was nighttime. Like, the con didn't start until 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening, so it wasn't so bad. And then I think that was it. Oh, and then I met Heather Langenkamp on Friday night as well. I added her to my poster as well. She's man, she is just so delightful, just a complete sweetheart. You know, takes her time with all the fans and stuff like that. And she only charges cheap. I think she's like 40 with a free photo. So I mean,
Score.
that's
Perfect.
which is how everyone should be going to Saturday now. Another great man, Jonathan Breck, the creeper from Jeepers Creepers, $40 for an autograph with a free photo. Um, that was the beginning of the day. I didn't actually drink this weekend. Like I did not drink alcohol this weekend. It was a sober weekend for me. I know, shocked faces everywhere.
What?
And thank
Just
God
kidding.
thank God I didn't, because I went in cosplay as the creeper, because I cosplay as the creeper from Jeepers Creepers in his line when it was fucking people were passing out in the line. Dude, I was fucking death like under this full costume waiting and I had to wait like 30 minutes for him probably because he had a decent line, and like I was just having to like breathe like so heavy like in because I felt like and if I had drank like that night before, I easily would have fucking passed out, or I would have had to exit the line. Because you know, like obviously, you know, like con lines, like they fucking like snake you, so like you're fucking like packed up against each other in a room that was probably like over 100. Like think of like an attic, like going up into an attic in the heat. It was like fucking that bad in there. So, but it was fine. And he's great. He was great too. He takes his time with everyone. He was awesome. He said it was the best creeper mask he's ever seen because I got it repainted. He's like, that is awesome. He's like, that's probably one of the. He's like, the way it conforms to your face and stuff like that. He's like, that's one of the best I've ever seen. And then he gave me some constructive criticism on. He's like, I would add a little bit of paints to the claws and stuff. Yeah, I mean, he was cool about it, but he was like really cool, and he was like taking the hat up and stuff and like looking at it really close and stuff like that. So he was awesome. And then like he was like, come over and look at this, and like he was like showing me his, because he had a creeper mask on that. He's like, here's like the colors, like you if you want to like really go like as screen accurate as possible and stuff like that. So he was really cool. And then he knocked on Nev Campbell because she signed over his face slightly on my poster project, and he's like, who the hell did that? And I'm like, Nev Campbell. He's like, oh, what the hell? He's like, all right, well, I'm gonna sign over her now. I was like, no, don't do that. But I was like, you know, you just sign below there or whatever. So he was great. And then Sam met Melissa Barrera from Scream 5 and 6 fame. She was a sweetheart. I stayed back because I was like, I personally didn't really care to meet her, but Sam really wanted to meet her. So we actually used a line skip on her because her line was fucking massive, like all weekend. People really supporting her. And yeah, so she was a sweet. She like hugged every single person. She like hugged every person in line and really took her time. She was one of the better celebrity interactions I think I've ever seen. She's great. 100 combo seems like a lot, you know, but I mean that's kind of the way cons are going these days. You know, 60 for an auto, and if you want a photo, you know, it was another 40, or I think it was 60, 60 and like 100 combo or something like that. You know, same with Mikey Madison from Scream as well, who played the killer in Scream 5. So, yeah, man, prices are crazy. But I mean, she was great, sweet. I didn't even want to like interact with her, but she was like, "Oh, what's your name?" And she like hugged me as well. So I was like, "Okay, hey." That was cool. And someone did actually ask her, because we attended the Scream panel that night, which was Melissa Barrera, Marley Shelton, and Tony Revolori, I think is his name. He played like Ghostface in the beginning of Scream 6 that gets killed. And someone did ask her about, you know, being fired from the Scream franchise or whatever and how she felt about it. And she was very gracious in her answer. She was just like, I feel like she's like, I appreciate the question. She's like, but I feel like if I answer that, I would probably get into trouble. So I'm going to politely decline the question, you know. You know, most people would probably just say, you know, like I'm not going to answer that. Let's move on or something like that. But she was great. She gave great answers. It was actually my favorite panel I attended of the whole weekend, the Scream panel. It was very entertaining. Great answers from all the actors and stuff. Also did a Heather Langenkamp panel, which she's always great. Like I said, just an absolute delight. It got a little dark because she did talk about losing her son to cancer, which just, man, it's just like life's just so unfair. Like for just such a sweet, genuine woman like that. Yeah, man, life sucks. And then also I attended the Hellraiser panel. No Clive Barker, unfortunately, but all the Cenobites and the whole cast were there, and that was a really great, informative one as well. So yeah, I mean, I've been talking for a while. I think that's pretty much sums up the entire weekend of Monster Mania 59. Like I said, great convention, always a big plus. Maybe I'll see you guys in November in Oaks if anyone wants to come out. I think Sam and I are going to attempt to do that one for the first time. Good guest list: Sam Raimi, Eli Roth, Alien and Aliens reunion. You're gonna have Veronica Cartwright there and Tom Skerritt and a whole bunch of people. And they're doing a Terrifier 3 reunion, which they just announced this weekend. I don't know who that means, but I'm assuming David Howard Thornton, Lauren Lavera, stuff like that. And Catherine Newton is going to be there as well for you Abigail and Lisa Frankenstein fans. And there's a few others, but yeah, you can check it out. Monster Mania's website.
One
And
last
that's it.
thing.
Yes.
I wanna mention that you didn't mention, so I will. So I'm just casually scrolling through X the other day.
Yes.
And I see a post by John Squires. John Squires, for those who don't know, is the person who runs Bloody Disgusting. And he's at Monster Mania and he posts, he's like, I took a picture of this fucking amazing cosplay there. And I'm looking at him like, motherfucker, that's Joe. So Joe went as Art from Terrifier 3. So
That's right.
How did people react to that costume? Because it's fucking grade A. Like, people need to see it.
Yeah, I think it might be my favorite cosplay I've ever done. Like, it just came out so good and awesome. I was so happy with how it looked. Yeah, dude, people fucking went crazy over it. It was easily like out of the 3 cosplays I did this weekend, that one definitely garnered the most attention for sure. I feel like every time I'm Art, he always garners, no matter what version of Art I am, he really is the new icon. We're experiencing like what people like when people like were really into Freddy and Jason back in like the 80s. Art is that now, and it's crazy. And what John wrote in his post on X was just like it's crazy to see. Like, the movie was 100% like organic. There was fucking no studio backing, just like an independent horror movie. It's really crazy and it is impressive. But yeah, no, it was awesome. Yeah, I forgot to mention that. Yeah, just amazing. I posted it. I think I actually retweeted it on our Horror Squad podcast X account, so you can go and see it. Or I think I posted it. I posted a photo on my Josephs of Horror Instagram account too. But yeah, Santa Art was really awesome, and I had no idea that was John Squires that took the photo. I was like, shit, I wish I knew like that was him or like what he even looked like, because so many people were taking pictures. But when I saw it, I was like, oh, that's so funny. Yeah, so cool. Yeah, awesome weekend. And you'll see more of Santa Art, probably in Salem this year on Essex Street, just to make the parents even more upset with
they're
me
gonna be thrilled
this year. Yes, considering I have Santa's like severed fucking skinned off face on me now, so they can make the kids even more terrified.
I can't wait to read the subreddit about you this time.
Yes. All right, that's going to be it for What Watch this week, ladies and gentlemen. So let's get into horror trivia, Todd. Bust out the books, baby. What we got for scores?
All right, we got Steve and Joe locked in at 10 apiece, myself 7 for quarter number 3. Who would like to begin today? I shall go. Everyone knows the Jason Voorhees, his mother, Miss Pamela, may she rest in peace. Taken from us wrongfully, I might add. I'm just kidding. What is the name of Jason's father?
Ooh. When was it mentioned?
It has been mentioned in the later films.
Okay.
As well as the fan films, Don't Hike Alone and all that.
Okay. I definitely have heard it before.
Okay.
But I don't remember it.
You're just looking for first name or last name too?
First name's fine.
Okay.
Can't say Voorhees and fucking call it a day.
Yeah, but it might not necessarily be Voorhees, right? Because maybe Pamela didn't take the father's name. So
wasn't a great coupling.
I'll say Richard.
Incorrect.
Dick Voorhees, huh?
Yep, Dick
Good
Voorhees.
Jason Voorhees.
Incorrect.
Senior.
Okay,
one more chance, or are you giving?
I'm gonna go Todd Voorhees.
I wish.
That'd be
We'd have
so
another
funny.
evil Todd though.
Yeah.
Hey.
Douglas.
Incorrect. The correct answer is Elias.
No.
Elias.
That'd be long on the bottom of my list.
Well, now you know.
Walk with Elias.
Now you know for next time.
Yeah. All right, I'll go next. So, theme this week is do you know your horror pets? So in honor of A Quiet Place Day
The
one,
cat.
which has a very prominent cat in it. I decide all questions about different horror pets.
Ooh, okay.
What's the name of the dog in Poltergeist?
Ooh,
I don't know.
yes.
Billy.
Wrong.
Mm,
Billy, come in. No?
mm. They do say it a few times,
They do.
but I don't. It's been a minute since I watched it.
Cornelius.
You want me to give you guys a hint?
Sure.
All right. It does start with the letter B.
Oh,
Okay. Well, I've already guessed, so Joe can guess before I say
Benny.
this.
No, it's not Benny. You want one more guess?
Is
guys?
it Buddy?
Nope.
Buddy's a good one.
Buddy's a
one.
good classic
It's-
dog name. Yeah.
Classic
Buddy.
dog name.
You want one more, Joe?
Nah, I'm not gonna venture it.
Butch.
No. So it's actually Buzz.
Buzz. Ah.
All right. I definitely would have never guessed that.
All
All righty.
Cool.
My first question tonight. Bit of a theme, but I'm not gonna say what it is.
right.
Interesting.
In Stranger Things, what metal song does Eddie play while in
One.
the episode? No, incorrect.
It's not called one.
No,
Fuck.
it's
Shit.
my God. It's on the tip of my wiener here.
Tip of his wiener.
God,
I'm sure a lot of people are screaming at their
yeah,
at
for
their
sure. I mean, I
radios
definitely know
right
the
now.
band. I'm just trying to remember the fucking. It's
Man, his death was spoiled for me. It was really annoying.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah. But I'll let Steve dig the ditches of his brain here. But yeah, I was at a freaking 4th of July parade of all things,
Brutal.
and this family was
Master
like,
of
"Oh my God."
Puppets, Metallica.
Correct.
Oh,
Very
I
good.
knew Metallica. I had Ace of Spades in my fucking mind for some reason, and I couldn't get it out of my goddamn mind.
Steve on the board.
Not even the right band, but
Yeah. Anyway, the family next to me was like, "I can't believe he died." I'm like, oh, fuckers.
Motherfuckers.
All right. We're going shifting to Joe's favorite film, so we might have a little leg up on this one.
Mm.
In the beginning of The Shining, Wendy is reading what book?
Oh.
They're in their apartment, chilling out at the breakfast table.
Yes,
What
I
book
recall.
is she
I
reading?
recall this scene.
I hope you do.
Jesus Christ.
Is it like a Time magazine?
No, it's a book.
Oh, it's an actual book.
It's an actual
Okay.
novel. Yeah, it's a fairly popular one.
Oh.
Fairly popular.
Like you probably would have read it in high school if you read it at all. That's all I'm giving.
The Catcher in the Rye.
Correct.
Oh, nice.
Pull that out of nowhere.
Yeah, I did.
seriously. All right.
Because I read that in high school. I was like,
Nice.
What is the name of the dog
Oh man.
in Gremlins?
Oh, it's
shit.
is it Vincent?
Wrong.
Oh, dang it.
Is it? I don't know why Barney's
That's correct.
sticking in my
It
head.
is
Ah,
Barney.
nice. Wow, nice.
Fucking.
Nice.
Dang it.
Joe on fire.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right. 3 letterboxed reviews.
Oh.
Can you guess the movie?
We'll see.
All right. Number 1. Best use of good vibrations maybe ever. Meaning the song.
I figured. I listened to the movie about a vibrator.
Number 2. It's a quote from the movie they used. And to think, if it weren't for you, I never would have danced at all.
Good vibration.
It does sound.
Got that sweet something.
I have an idea, but I won't say it.
All
until
right.
you-
And number 3, this one will be the dead giveaway if you do have an idea.
Oh,
probably.
I'm ready.
Oh, he's ready. He's geared up.
Oh, I'm ready.
He's ready to sling it.
Number 3, maybe I don't want to see a pair of scissors ever again.
Us?
Correct?
That's not what I had in mind.
What'd you have in mind?
No, I'm going to save it because
Oh.
it might be the next answer.
Oh. Okay. Back to me. Okay, we are sticking with The Shining here. Danny's nickname, Too Easy.
Yeah.
Danny's imaginary friend's name, Too Easy. Let's keep going down the list here. How long? And I need the exact time
Oh my.
in months. That's too easy. Moving on. I've asked this before, Joe. Let's see if you remember it.
All right.
Jack goes to the bar.
Yes.
He says he has money.
Yes.
He says the exact amount. I
Mm.
need the exact bills that he says. I've had this, and then he passes the chest, and then tells the bartender how much he has.
Mm.
Jesus Christ.
Is he got? Is it a 20?
Final answer?
Sure.
Incorrect.
All right.
I'm gonna go for a 10.
Incorrect. Not getting it. One
One more
opportunity.
guess.
He
Oh,
goes,
A
I got,
5?
I've
Oh,
got,
wait.
and then he says it.
Hmm.
oh, I got a crisp 50. I
No,
don't,
no.
I don't
Nah,
remember.
I'm not
No.
even gonna
I've got 2 20s and 2 10s.
go. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I love it. Great fucking. Ah, gosh, it's so good.
It's a lot of money
It's a lot of money.
back then. It probably was.
Yeah, for
Especially
sure.
him because he's like unemployed, right?
Yeah.
For like being a drunk and shit.
All right. What's the name of the dog in The Lost Boys?
Which
Um,
one? Thorn?
No, the other one. If there's,
Um,
was there 2 dogs in?
There's 2 dogs. Thorn is I believe the older guy's the head vampire's name.
Okay, no, it's the other one.
Beast.
No, it's
Oh.
not Beast. It's
Beauty.
Beast is
Wow.
from Hills Have Eyes, I think.
Oh, that's right.
yeah, good dogs, German Shepherds.
Hmm.
Homie Brent's favorite movie. He's screaming in terror. Thorn and gosh, this is gonna piss me fuck off, dude. I just read the stupid book too. Oh gosh, I don't know. I forget.
Joe, do you have a guess?
Mm, No.
Thorn and
Okay, I'll
don't
give
think
you
I
guys a
do.
hint.
okay.
I feel like
It's
we
an-
talked about it.
We did.
before.
We someone asked this question in the past.
Okay.
And we also reviewed the film not super long ago. So,
Right.
okay, so my hint is it's an indigenous name.
Oh,
Indigenous name.
interesting.
Like water buffalo.
No, not like water buffalo.
Clapping thunder.
All right, you guys give up.
Um,
If you don't know it from that, you
Dude,
probably
it's
won't.
like I know it, but I just can't say it. Is it on the back of the VHS? Let's look.
It's,
That'd be a random thing to put on the
Yeah, I know.
VHS.
it's like Pocahontas.
Wrong.
I don't know.
Nah, just say it.
So it's actually Nanook.
Nanook.
Yeah, fucking
Yeah.
motherfucker.
All right. Guess the movie based on
Good
the
vibrations.
Ooh.
Sorry, still singing.
You're fine. Guess the movie based on the IMDb information. This movie was released in the year 2019.
Little Monsters.
You are
That's-
correct.
I knew you had it. I knew you had it. I'm like, I'm gonna have to just fucking shoot my shot.
That was the
'Cause
one I
that's
was
the one you
thinking of
had.
before. Yeah.
I knew you fucking had it. I'm like, he's gonna guess that because that's the only thing I remembered her from until he
Right.
said the stupid scissors one
All
Right,
right.
Yeah.
with fucking the voice of Olaf from fucking Frozen.
Right.
Josh
What's that
Gad.
guy? Yeah,
Josh
there he
Gad,
is.
yeah.
All right. Well, that was quick.
Yeah. I like how we both had it like in our
Yeah, because
cheeks.
you're
Yeah.
fucking you were doing a little. I can tell you're gonna fucking fire it off. So I'm like,
Yeah,
I guess
it
that
was.
works.
You guys guessed the theme, so
Yeah.
it was
All right.
I placed day one cast members.
Yeah.
I thought maybe you'd
Uh,
go with Demon Hunsu though this time, so I was like kind of
Mm.
preparing for that too because
Mm.
you had 2 different ones the first 2.
Yep.
What was it? What were you thinking?
Demon Hunsu,
Who's that?
the guy. He's the guy who he's like he saves them on the boat there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. He was in Quiet Place too.
He's exactly yeah.
Oh, shoot. Rewatch. I don't remember.
Mhm.
Okay. Joe and I tied a piece with 2. Steve with the 1, which puts Joe in the lead with 12. Steve 11. Myself 9 for quarter number 3. Horror trivia. Trivia.
All righty. Thank you so much, Todd.
Mm.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for our main event of the evening, A Quiet Place, Day 1, starring Lupita Nyong'o, Joseph Quinn, Alex Wolff, and Steve just said it, Jimon Honsu, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Directed by Michael Sarnowski. Plot: a young woman named Sam finds herself trapped in New York City during the early stages of an invasion by alien creatures with ultra-sensitive hearing. Sounds pretty good. But Todd, you always do it better.
Thank you.
Let's hear it.
Okay, I'll try. I'll give it my best. So we meet Sam, who is a young lady, and she's unfortunately in hospice care. She's suffering from I don't think they say what type of cancer, but she's suffering from cancer, and she's in a support group with the kid from Hereditary. He's got a beard. I was like, whoa, this kid's in here. He's not gonna live through it though, because he's not on the poster. But yeah, she's in hospice care, and she has like she's in pain. She's almost to the end of her life, and she needs medication, things like that. She's a little withdrawn from the world. She's like making fun of people at the support group and all that stuff. Turns out the guy from Hereditary, the young kid, he's like the nurse, and he's taking him into town. He's like, hey, we're gonna go see a show in New York City. When's the last time you've been in the city? Come on, come out with us. And she's like, fine, only if we get fucking pizza. He's like, I'll get you pizza. They go to it. They see like an old school puppet show, which is pretty cool. She also has this cat named Frodo, who do they say is a support cat at all, or is it just a cat?
They do. At
do?
one point, it says it's her emotional
cat.
support cat.
Got it. So she's with the cat. She takes it everywhere, and she takes it into the city to watch the show and things like that. And then soon we see some stuff in the background, right? Like police cars going off. We see, fighter jets, helicopters, little shit in the sky going like, what's going on? We know what's going on because this is a sequel, but they don't pay any mind. They go in to see the puppet show. A little after that, man, they're about to leave and they're like, hey, we can't get pizza. We got to go back because the city's being closed off and we don't know why. And they're like, no, I'm getting fucking pizza. She's pissed. He's like, we're going. And then the monsters strike. And eventually her with some with the nurse and a couple other people hold up in that theater that they saw the show in, and they go from there. Eventually though, we learn that the military is gonna shut down Manhattan, and they blow up all the bridges in an attempt to slow the advance of the monsters. And we meet up with Joseph Quinn, Eric, I believe his name is. He's like, younger, he's an Englishman, he's there for school, and he's like all alone, right? So he tags on the Sam and like won't leave her side. So the cat, Eric, Sam are all going through their adventure, trying to get out of the city because there's evacuation orders, like get to the boat and you get out of here. Man, I was pleasantly surprised with this one, man. I did not like 2. I thought it was a carbon copy of part 1, just not as good. And 1 has kind of like slowly dropped a little bit over the years since I've watched it. Still a really cool concept, like, be quiet because these aliens are fucking crazy and they can hear everything. You got to turn your brain off for it though, right? For this entire series. And this one is no exception. The cat, I get it. Now I get it, obviously, because you guys answered it for me. It's a service animal, and they're highly trained, blah, blah, blah. This cat's not going to hiss one time, people. He's not going to meow. He's not going to purr. Get the fuck out of here. That cat's going to fucking kill everybody. If it was my cat, Steve can probably speak for his cats. I don't know. We'll ask him later. But if it was my cat, I'd be dead in 10 minutes because that motherfucker would get hungry, or I didn't clean the litter box well. And this cat is literally in the city with like 12-foot monsters like 2 feet away from it, and it's just like chilling like it's nothing. Like, so that, turn your brain off and enjoy it. Obviously, like the super hearing is bullshit. Like, you're gonna kill these things with fucking guns. I don't care. You know what I mean? You're gonna kill it with tanks and helicopters, everything they have. That being said, I was pleasantly surprised because I had 0 expectations and I ended up really invested in the characters. They had some great chemistry between Sam and Eric, and I liked like the shit hit the fan moment on day 2 and 3, because I think 1 isn't really technically true. But I did want more gore, but I think they went with PG-13, but I didn't check that to verify. But overall, liked it.
I can confirm they did go PG-13 because I just was looking at it a minute ago.
Nice.
So yeah. I mean, overall, I really enjoyed this as well. I mean, I really liked the first 2 Quiet Place movies. I feel like it's like just a mild, very mild step down from the first 2 movies. Not by much, honestly. Like I gave we'll get into it later. It's just a mild, very, very, very mild step down. Lupita absolutely carries this movie. I mean, she is just so good in this. Fantastic. I mean, the movie, I like that they did go in a different direction, right? Because the first 2 movies, like Todd said, I mean, the second movie was in a lot of ways like a carbon copy of that first movie, just with sort of different actors, although you had Cillian Murphy in there, Oscar winner now, fantastic. But with some great scenes. I did miss the family dynamic a bit. I feel like that was missing in this one, but the movie did have a lot of heart, like, right? Like, I just wish we got, I guess my biggest complaint is I just wish we got something more out of this one, some sort of like, I don't know. I don't know what, but like, it was just a very contained story. in this sort of day one world. And I know, and obviously the first two movies we get a contained story, but I think it was time to sort of branch out and sort of go a little bigger. And I don't know what that is. It's definitely more of a me problem than the movie problem, because the story's good here. And yeah, I mean, it was solid. I think this is the best probably alien mayhem we get out of the two movies. I mean, it definitely felt more popcorn flick, like summer blockbuster to me. Like, and I saw it for the first time in theaters. I did just rewatch it last night as well. But yeah, man, like I will say it definitely hit better in theaters than, watching it at home. But yeah, man, the alien mayhem is great here. Like Todd said, I do wish we got a little more bodies strewn across and like a little more brutalness. But once again, nitpicking. But yeah, man, overall, I really enjoyed it. I thought the chemistry between Joseph Quinn and Lupita was great. And yeah, the cat was fucking fantastic. Like best actor in the entire movie. I absolutely loved every time the cat was on screen. Definitely pulled at the heartstrings.
So I went into this sitting down yesterday expecting, okay, I can't wait to watch this movie. Probably going to be in my top 10. It's going to be awesome. And to be honest, I was disappointed, and I guess I didn't expect that. So my first issue is the first scene in A Quiet Place 2 did day one better than this film. And that is a bummer, because when I see a movie, A Quiet Place, set in New York City in the middle of the daytime, and there's a million people just fucking walking around, I'm expecting an absolute like gore fest, and a lot of people getting killed and people figuring out the sound thing. And I guess my expectations was too high. As soon as day one hits, you see a couple people die, and then something, I don't remember what happens, an explosion or something. So it's like smoky and dust everywhere, so you don't see what's going on. They hid the mayhem from us, and I was like, what the fuck is this? That's why I'm watching this. That's why I wanted to see day one so bad. I felt like gypped that we didn't get the proper kind of day one promise from the title. Then for the rest of the film, Lupita and Joseph were fantastic. I think they're great actors. I love what they were trying to get with, where it's like these two people meeting in this crazy circumstance. And in a weird way, I felt that Sam's character became the emotional support for Eric's character, who suffered from anxiety. And I liked that whole storyline the same way that Frodo was the support for Sam. It was boring at times for me, because they're quiet and things are just taking a lot of time. I was just like, I don't know. It just wasn't resonating with me in a way that I think I should have resonated with it. And then you got these crazy action sequences again, and then it went slow again. Like, I didn't hate it. There's a lot of things I liked about it, and we'll talk about kind of the specifics. But in the end, I was disappointed, and I was also disappointed in the ending. We'll talk about the ending near the end. But first of all, we know what happens to people on that boat, so it's like, what's the point, of having that? And then what happens to Sam's character, I was like, I don't know, a little too on the
What
nose.
happens to the people on the boat?
Yeah, do they address that? I didn't know either.
Well, they go to an island and get killed in A Quiet Place too.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, that
Yeah,
is
that's
right.
right.
Is
Oh,
that the
yeah.
same group?
It's
Yeah.
the same group, because
Yeah, it's
that's
the guy
Demon.
from the
Yeah,
yeah.
Oh shoot!
he's
Yeah.
the
Oh,
head
shoot,
of
yeah.
that
That's
island.
right.
So
Wow.
Yeah, I forgot about the island scene and too, honestly.
it's like if you watch a movie and these people try to survive the whole movie, and then they get on the fucking Titanic and they end it there. It's like, well, you know what happens after.
What happens to the Titanic?
Oh, you don't want to. That's a whole.
What?
That's a whole 3.5-hour movie idea right there.
But
Yeah.
did the Titanic really sink?
Or was
Conspiracy
it the
theories,
sister
ladies and gentlemen.
ship?
Yes.
All right.
That's a deep rabbit hole.
Yes.
That is.
I agree, man. It is such a giant missed opportunity not to have a fuck ton of gore. I'm thinking like
Yeah.
Starship Troopers level gore,
Mhm.
just like splitting and body parts and heads, and such a bummer. It's
And
not
they
rated
gave
R.
it to us in A Quiet Place too, in the first 5 minutes
Yeah.
of A Quiet Place 2, and that was near Boston, on a suburb of Boston, I think, in The Quiet Place 2. So you're in
Yeah.
fucking New York City and you're not giving us that? Like, come on.
It's a really great point, and one that because I was just like, I don't remember, like, I haven't watched Quiet Place 1 and 2 like in quite a long time, so I didn't remember like if there was like a lot of gore scenes. So I just kind of was like, okay, it's like I was just like, okay, it's just not that type of movie where they're gonna go. But if they did that in the first two movies, like you're saying, they 100. I mean, yeah, 100%. Like, why would
I
you
don't
tone
recall
it?
that either, though, in the first two.
Why would you tone
Did
it
we get
down?
gore?
Just a second. At
The
the beginning
second
of
one?
the
Just a
second.
Okay.
second?
Yeah, it goes back to John Krasinski's day one. He's at a
okay.
baseball game and
Yeah.
then shit hits
Oh,
the fan.
yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
which
remember
you-
there being blood, though.
Which I agree with you, Steve. That was the better, like, scene, like, right? And you've really felt. I feel like it just happens too fast in this movie, like,
Yeah,
right?
and they
Like
cut it off too fast.
right?
know?
Yeah. Like in
You know?
in the second movie, you really felt the tension and sort of like I got a pit in my stomach, being like you knew what was coming, right? But you kind of felt like everyone sort of not knowing what was happening. And this one is just fucking thrown right at you, and you're kind of thrust into it a little too fast, honestly. I would have preferred actually a little more tension building in this one. But yeah, that is a really good point. I also think they took a lot of conveniences with sound in this one as well. There are times where they're making noises and the aliens apparently don't hear them, and then there are other times where the guy
His
rips
shirt
his
rips.
shirt,
Yeah.
and the fucking thing
Loudest
fucking
thing of
goes
all time.
right, yeah.
Right. Poor guy. Yeah, there's a lot of liberties taken in this movie, though.
For sure, yeah.
But mostly just coming back to the cat. You
Yeah.
know? Like, you really think that cat's gonna not do a single thing?
Right, but then they can like talk under the rain, but like wouldn't they? Like I don't know, like that seemed a little.
Yeah, it's a cool scene though. The kids talking under the fountain, which
Yeah,
yeah, it's pretty cool. But what I was thinking, like throughout the whole film, was like, because there's thousands of the monsters, and that's really cool. Like
Yeah,
when
it
the
does look
helicopters
cool.
are coming, and the helicopters are
Mhm.
like, stay in place, blah blah blah, and the fucking monster's just like a tidal wave. It's super cool. But also made me realize like there's no way that these things are efficient hunters because they're so fucking loud. Every time they like their own creatures do something, they'd be like thrown off. So it'd be like it's so easy to dodge these things. Like I know they're hulking monstrosities and stuff, but like gosh, man, they can only hear you. And they have to open their whole fucking head to hear you. Like, I don't see the threat, honestly, in these fucking things.
No, I don't know. I do. They're freaking-
Well, you're dying first, then.
They're pretty fucking fast, man. Like, I mean, I know as long as you're keeping quiet, you'll be fine. But
Yeah, but if they're all running, how could they pinpoint where your little fucking human footsteps are?
yeah, I mean, which they do figure out like quickly, I suppose. Like when they start breaking the car alarms and stuff like that, and the windows and shit like that, to kind of throw them off.
And another thing too. I don't know if it was addressed, so maybe I'm wrong, but you can easily get a fuck ton of these people out of the city if you fly the helicopters making noises away from where they need to evacuate from, because we see that they follow the helicopters. So be like,
Right.
all right, we're gonna fucking divert. Helicopters go this way, and then people just mosey on over. Case closed. It was just like Todd Grepp, I guess.
No, yeah, no, it's a good point. Like even like tanks, right? Because those things aren't probably getting into tanks, right? I don't know,
No.
like how fucking strong are? I don't know how strong they are, but like if you're fucking like bringing tanks through and shit, like they're gonna be fucking going crazy on those tanks. Like I don't know,
Right.
can they? I guess they could flip the tanks though. Like I
They
don't
flip
know.
Tanks
cars.
are
So
They do
heavy
flip
as fuck. No,
cars,
but tanks
yeah.
and cars are way different weight.
Yeah, it depends.
So, I
I
don't
guess
know.
it depends how superhuman strength they really have. But
Well,
yeah,
they're not
no,
human.
it's a good.
I'm just
Right,
kidding.
well, yeah,
That's fine.
right. Super
So-
alien strength they have.
So do they come? They don't really explain it. I mean, we see them coming to Earth,
yeah,
but
they
are
never
they coming
explain.
like by themselves? You think, like kind of like War of the Worlds, where they like land and then come up?
But that's what it seems like because you see it breaks into like a ton of pieces, the whatever meteor
Yeah.
So those
thing,
are like the little.
like pods or
creatures or
whatever.
something?
Yeah, we don't
So-
really see it.
What were they? What were they fucking with in that one scene?
With the eggs,
Yeah, were they eating? Was that their food or babies or something?
I think it was like babies, right? Like sort of alien, like
Hmm.
right? Like they're hatching, like so more obviously more and more are gonna start coming, like which is what decimates the world. But yeah, like it's funny how they made water once again for aliens, another one of their weak, it happened in
don't like it.
science, and now it happens in this, right?
They're not a fan.
Fucking aliens do not like water, apparently. And how can those things not swim? They look pretty fucking agile. That if they got into water, they could definitely those legs move pretty fast.
Yeah, plus
And-
water's great for hearing, so it's like you
Yeah,
think they'd be like, yeah, hell yeah.
yeah, man, sonar.
So were the aliens also having a targeted attack where they only sent troops to Manhattan and not around the island whatsoever? Because the whole bridge thing to me made no sense because we know for
Yeah.
sure that they're just dropping all over the earth, right? Because they're in Boston, they're in all these places.
Right.
So I don't know, and it took so long for them to blow the bridges up. You think the aliens would have probably already gotten off the island by that
It
point.
gave it some tension. That was it.
Yeah,
right. The plan
I
was like,
I think that was their plan. I think. Right, well, no, because we're in the second one. Is it Boston? Is that where they go into?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I guess maybe they target like the major cities. So now if they take down the bridge, it'll just be contained to Manhattan. They can't get out. Although
They
like
probably
they're
don't know either the scope yet.
right, it's just day one.
Yeah. Day 2.
Or day well, it's I mean it's day one at that point, and yeah, I mean it's pure like panic mode trying to contain
Should have just nuked it.
alien things. Do you think it's better that we didn't? Do you think it's a good thing that we don't know like anything about these aliens or their backstory? Just kind of throw
Yeah.
them out there.
I'd imagine from my headcanon that they're like, the shock troops of whatever advanced alien societies up there. That's what I'm thinking.
Mhm.
Like you send these fuckers down, they decimate the planet, and then you can do whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, just trying to feed. I think basically, right? It's like maybe they're
Okay.
going planet to planet to feed to take
Right.
out all like life
Like
and
s-
then move
Like
on to.
Slither.
Yeah, it's like yeah.
Mm-hmm. How'd you guys feel about the pizza
Uh,
storyline?
like
Mm,
I get it, right? Like pizza, it means a lot to her childhood, and
Right.
she's dying, so she's not going to get maybe any more chances. We don't know, and I kind of felt her pain when at first when she goes back on the bus because this might have been our last chance to get pizza, right? When the world is fucking ending, you know what? I don't know. Like it seems like you're putting people
Well,
at risk here for a fucking pizza, and it was.
she didn't want Joseph to fall, Eric
No,
to fall
she
on her,
actually
though.
didn't want. Yeah, yeah.
And she's almost, she's on her last legs there.
right. I guess her
physically.
last pleasure before.
Yeah, I thought it was okay. I mean, whatever. We need a reason for them to stay in the city, and I guess it's valid enough. It's just Eric is emotionally unstable, and he needs like the strong character to help him, which is her, right? So he latches on to her.
Yeah, I didn't mind it. Like, it's a
Yeah, it's
little
fine.
like when you talk about it, it just sounds a little silly, but when you actually like get to like the meaning, like at the end and stuff like that, it definitely like adds that sort of heart thing to it all. But like I don't know, like in some aspects, like I find it's just like so small scale, like, when you're like going over like this whole sort of end of the world scenario. Yeah, I mean, it's just like one story out of a million, right? And you could, I guess, go through that throughout like you could make several other movies, I guess, following other people's storylines and stuff like that. I also like, I don't know, did you guys get New York City vibes off this movie? Like I just did not. Like I just felt
Yes,
like we weren't in New
London.
York City. I know, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
the whole
it's so
time, like I feel like they needed to show more like major
iconic. Yeah.
icon like the Empire State Building and stuff like that. Or like, whatever, the Freedom Tower. Like, and I don't know if they were concerned about like 9/11 comparisons, like seeing New York City get destroyed
Yeah, you
again
gotta have
and
Yankee
stuff like
Stadium
that.
in the fucking.
But
Yeah,
Come
movies
on.
have done it so much at this point.
Right.
Like it's.
I mean,
yeah.
I agree. Like, and I just don't know why. Like, I never felt like they were in New York City. Like,
'Cause
imagine.
There's a pizzeria. It's New York.
Right. Yeah. Right.
It's pizza, and there's a lot of people walking. There you go.
right.
Imagine if it like one of them landed in like the middle of the fucking packed baseball or football stadium, dude. The
That would be
carnage.
awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be sick.
That would have been fucking awesome. Yeah. Like them, or like people like fucking looking outside the Empire State Building, right? You see
Yeah.
the fucking aliens like scaling down it or something like that, Like, I feel like there was a lot of missed opportunities here for like, they really, especially like you guys said, that opening. You could have an awesome like 20-minute segment of just the aliens going crazy when they came down. Instead, it just fucking ends like in the snap of a finger, and we're thrust right into sort of this storyline with her and Joseph. I mean, I get it, right? The human character is is what they focused on in this movie, but I think they could have given us, and they did do an okay job of giving us, alien carnage here and there. But I think we needed, if for a movie called A Quiet Place Day One, they really should have given us a better opening alien attack.
Yeah. My issue with it is that they gave us what we got from the first one.
Yeah.
And the second one was like a mix of the two. It was both a human story, but also a bigger story because they're starting to choose more characters, more attacks. But by this time, like I just want to see the aliens fuck shit up, especially that they teased it so much in two. And I think that's still my biggest disappointment is that how little of it actually happens. And there were so many opportunities where they could do it, and they just never pulled the trigger on that.
Well, it's a damn rating though. They want a PG-13. They can't.
Yeah, but that's their
Mhm.
problem, right? They like look. I mean, the number one movie right now is an R-rated movie, and it's about to pass $1 billion. So
Yeah.
there's no excuse anymore.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Plus, it's got legs too. People are gonna watch this movie, so just make it rated R, dude.
Exactly.
Sucks. Yeah.
Steve, you being the big cat owner, Frodo.
Mhm. I loved it.
Loved it.
I fucking love
God.
Frodo so much. Like I get Todd's gripes on this one, but one of my cats, I would probably survive a while. Like she's very
The cat doesn't
quiet.
even meow when it's
But my other cat,
submerged.
fuck that, I'd be dead in a minute. Like he'd like find a table somewhere and knock everything off of it
Meow,
and fucking kill us
meow.
all. Speaking of noise and stuff, so when they make a noise, right? They immediately start running and like basically like they're being chased for a long time. Can they
Mhm.
not just make a noise, run away like 20
And
feet
stop?
and hide?
Like you do in every survival horror game video game.
Yeah, right?
Mhm.
Because if it's only attracted to sound, by the time it gets there, you're gone. How does it find you if you stop making sound?
Exactly. And that's my point. They're super loud themselves. So
Yeah.
throw a fucking rock and
Exactly.
then you're good.
Yeah, I mean, all the fucking survival games do it. You always throwing rocks around, and
There's no fucking way either Joseph Quinn is outrunning this six-legged fucking creature on a pier on a straight line. I'm like, Joseph, just stop, bud.
Well, she was distracting them.
Oh, sure. How many? I've probably made this joke every time we cover one of these movies, but how many people died just from fucking farting? Because like you got to fart, man.
You
or
do.
like the snoring guys, like myself. Fuck, dude,
yeah.
you're dead.
Yeah, I mean, is that? I guess let's get into the end. What did you guys hate about the endings? I didn't.
I
didn't
hated the
mind
very
it.
ending.
Okay.
I don't the stuff where he gets on the boat, that's fine with me. I don't care. Like they get away, so be it. I hated how the vibe was completely killed when she turns on the music at the end, the very last segment. It just immediately, like, it was sad, it was dreary, it was slow, and then it's like out of nowhere, and I'm feeling fine, baby. I'm like, oh no, and it fucking stopped. I'm like, that's lame. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah, my bigger issue was with the boat. Like you end on a mission, a message of hope, knowing full well that all those people are gonna fucking die. Like and that's just like it's a weird message to tell us. Almost like they hope we don't remember that, which I did. So it didn't work for you. As far as Sam's death, it was just I don't know. I thought it could have been better. She could have died saving someone or like I don't know, it just felt a little too
Peacefully.
yeah.
I don't know.
But I kind of get it too, it's she went back to her neighborhood and listened to her favorite song and then unplugged, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, it didn't bother me. It was just like, obviously, like, wouldn't you sort of do like, do the same thing? Like, well, maybe not in that situation, but you'd find a way to sort of kill yourself, like, rather than fucking suffering, dying from cancer. Like, she's at the end of her rope, so unplugging the music for the, aliens to just sort of fucking take her out quickly made sense to me. So I personally didn't mind it. And
I don't know if I'd
like
want the
that
aliens
song,
to kill
so.
me, to be honest. Is
Yeah, I
like
guess,
I'd probably
yeah.
find a easier
A
way
better
to,
way,
to like
yeah.
But
It'd
anyway.
be quick though. They'd fucking
Yeah,
Probably.
they
rip you
usually.
apart
I don't
pretty
think
quick.
they dilly-dally with it.
No, they don't fuck around.
Because Krasinski, they just fucking swiped.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He's dead. Yeah. So I mean, pretty straightforward movie. Not a lot of twists and turnsies or anything like that. Just
Yeah, I
aliens
can't.
come and
Yeah, nothing really. I can't think of like anything else really that's worth discussing. Really, marionette scene, great. I was impressed.
Also
marionettes
creepy.
are cool.
Yeah.
And
Like,
creepy. Yes.
yeah, like there's kids at the show. I don't know. You looked a little off to me.
Yeah, the whole balloon and everything.
Right.
It reminded me of Up a little.
Justice for a Hereditary guy. Great
Yeah,
guy.
I liked him a lot.
Fantastic
Actually,
guy.
I didn't even recognize him at first with the beard. He looked good with the beard. Rocking the
He looked
beard.
fly, yeah.
Yeah.
But man, the nicest character in this movie, he gets fucking reamed because he fucking ripped his shirt, man.
Right.
Jeez.
Oh yeah, we didn't even mention it. And then I can't remember the character's name there, but the dude who on the boat at the end, when he has to kill the dude.
Right.
Because
you
he's
make too
being
much
loud.
noise.
Yeah. Is
That's
that
good
murder or just a
No,
you have
that's,
to
you
do what
gotta
you have
kill
to
that
do?
fucker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
survival.
Yeah.
I think that character is underused though, personally.
Agreed.
Because a great actor, but underused.
I
So,
think because he was in 2, they didn't want to kind of
sense.
bring
Hey, maybe not every single one of them died on the island, Steve. Maybe someone I hid in a closet or some shit.
Do you remember?
thought it was
too?
like
I don't
decimated,
remember at
yeah.
all. Did they all fucking die?
Yes.
How did the aliens get on the
Right.
island though?
On
I
a
can't
boat?
remember that
On a
part.
boat, yeah, or something
Oh,
like that,
okay.
yeah.
They got on a boat.
They learn how
somehow?
to pilot boats, and they're like, "Hey, we can just get on these."
Or was it underground? Yeah, was it,
No, I think
it was a boat. Yeah.
it was a boat. Yeah, it drifted or something.
Mm. All right, I
I
got
don't
one
remember
more.
them all dying. They all legit died. Like every
Yeah.
single one.
I'm pretty
They,
sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
they get fucking destroyed. I mean, obviously, a couple of them do escape. I think does he escape the black guy with
I
them at
I
the
don't
end?
remember if he does. I know like the kids
can't-
do.
Mm.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe
Well,
not.
There's hope. There's
Yeah.
hope. Maybe Joseph Quinn survived with the cat.
Now I gotta watch.
Oh, we didn't
Rewatch
see
too,
him,
I
so
guess.
maybe. Yeah.
True. He's in a treehouse.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it makes sense.
Before we get into rating, I guess one last question I do have for you guys is like, where do we go from here? Do you want to see a more Quiet Place, or you're like, okay, we're kind of like spent at this point? Do you want to go back seeing like the kids and Emily Blunt? Do you want like more stories like this? What do you want?
I don't know where you go, man. It has to be the same thing over and over again. You got to be quiet. I mean, that's the whole gimmick of the movie, be quiet. And do you really want to see that 2, 3 more films? I don't know. I really like this one, but it's just like, what else can you do? What other direction can you take it?
Yeah, this is the movie I wanted day one, and they didn't give me what I wanted out of day one. So I'm kind of disappointed. If they make another one, I think it would have to be where humans finally figure out how to fight back. It has to be the kind of, okay, we figured out the weakness of the, I think she had like some kind of like weapon, like a sound weapon or something in Quiet
The
Place
hearing
2.
aid.
Yeah, and it's really them kind of trying to take the planet back, almost like a post-apocalyptic, kind of just the last few survivors trying to take back what they had.
Well, here's the thing. There's got to be a lot of humans left because just the U.S. Navy alone is fine, So like, there you go. There's plenty of navies out there in the world, and they're not affected because the fucking aliens can't swim.
Yeah, but they have to like dock at some point, right?
Yeah, but they can be on water for 2 years with their stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think I guess if you go military route, like 28 Weeks Later tried, but completely different tangent. But I think 28 Weeks Later is taken out of the canon, if I remember correctly, which sucks because that's a cool movie.
Yeah, and as far as like what I want out of it, yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know if I want any more. I'm kind of good. Like, I thought the first movie was fantastic. Second movie, great once again, and then this movie just kind of, I liked it. Like, don't get me wrong. But I'm just like, okay, like how much more do we need to see out of this world, I guess, or this franchise? And I think they're 3 for 3. Like I've liked all 3 of the movies, but I think after after this, I'm just like, do I need to keep seeing it? And they're gonna make more. This movie did really well in theaters, from what from what I remember. So they're gonna make more. And if you keep putting great actors in it, I guess you'll be fine. It will be when they start not using great actors. I think you're gonna lose quality with the human character aspect and stuff. So as long as they keep up with that, I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I got it. I
Okay.
just thought of a Quiet Place 4 in my mind as you were talking.
All cats.
Yeah, no, not all cats. That'd be ridiculous. Okay, so they find the weapon that finally kills the fucking thing, right? And the mothership of these aliens is in a volcano, right? So they strap the weapon to Frodo, and he goes on an adventure with other cats and
wow.
tries to put the weapon in the volcano to destroy them for life. So that's what
Cats of the Ring.
That's
Yes.
right.
Love that.
Fucking weirdo. That's ridiculous. That's not ridiculous. 67 million.
I'd fucking watch it. Like,
Of course you would. That would probably be made in like the year 2002.
Yeah, Quiet Place, Frodo's Revenge.
Love it.
So 67 million budget.
Mhm.
So far gross is 258 mil. So
Yeah, that's killing it.
made some money.
You know what that means?
Definitely.
Quiet Place 4.
Quiet
definitely
Place
coming.
4.
Yeah.
You know it's gonna be like day 2 or some shit. They'll
I
keep
don't
doing the
know.
days.
I guess maybe we could.
International, maybe.
Maybe we'll
Yeah.
follow Joseph Quinn, because like you
Having
said, he
panic
wasn't on the.
attacks and shit.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's busy right now, so probably
And
not.
what's he up to?
He's in the Fantastic Four, which means he's guaranteed for
Again?
four
How
films.
many
What's he
bad Fantastic
playing?
Four movies are they gonna
Human
make?
Torch.
Oh, it's Human Torch.
Are they actually gonna do it right this time?
Yeah, I saw the preview.
Yeah?
Oof, it looks
Okay.
It's
good.
like the 4th time the charm or something like that.
Nice.
Yeah, no, they're doing good this time.
Who's else is in it?
Pedro Pascal is Mr. Fantastic.
Oh,
Super
nice.
Mario.
You'll like this. Ralph
Good cast.
Ineson
Oh,
plays
my boy.
Galactus.
Ooh, all right. Is that the
Who
villain?
plays? Yeah.
Jennifer No, not Jennifer. What's her name? The girl from Ozark.
So
Something
the blonde
Garner.
chick?
Yeah, she plays a Silver Surfer.
Mm.
And
You're gonna have to kill me.
Vanessa Kirby and the dude from The Bear are also in it. The guy from The Bear plays The Thing, and Vanessa Kirby plays Invisible
Like the
Woman.
main guy from The Bear?
I think so. I haven't
Okay.
watched it. It's I
Okay.
forget his name. They're like something.
The main chef
Evan
kid.
Mount,
Yeah.
No,
oh,
he's
wait. No,
like the
that's
older
the
one.
cousin. The cousin. Okay. Yeah, cool. Oh, awesome.
Mhm.
Very cool.
Sweet.
Also, random, before, since we're talking superheroes real quick, how do you guys feel about this Hellboy thing? Because I've seen a lot of people shitting on it recently. So I haven't watched the trailer.
What's the Hellboy thing?
It's
It
like a new
looks like
Hellboy
it was made on
movie.
Tubi.
The picture I sent
Yeah,
you
that's
guys of
what
the
it
guy
looks
with the Hellboy sticker?
Looks like a Tubi original. It's,
Okay.
it's just I don't know. It came out of nowhere. Everyone's like, "What the fuck is this?" So we'll see what happens.
All right. Back to Quiet Place Day One. Let's rate it. I'll start us off. Yeah, man, it's a really great, not great, but it's a really good movie. I don't think it's as good as the other two movies, but I think it's, like I said, once again, I think they're 3 for 3. I've enjoyed all three of these movies. Where we go from here, we'll see. But I think this one was good enough to be like, okay, well, I guess I'll watch a fourth. Although I think I'm not as I'm definitely starting to lose interest in this franchise. But yeah, Frodo the Cat was awesome. Lupita carries this movie for sure. I give it a 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah, initially I came out a really strong 4, but having talking to you guys and really bringing out the negatives to light, not having a bunch of mayhem and gore, and I honestly I can't get over the cat not saying a single thing or doing a single thing because cats are fucking assholes, and there's no fucking way that it's not going to hiss at any point in this movie. But I still like it, man. I liked it more than part 2. I think it was a step in the right direction for me. I don't want to see another like secluded family drama again, and I'm sticking with a 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah, and despite like kind of shitting on it most of the review, I did enjoy it. I just didn't love it as much as the other two. I was just disappointed, but I do think that Lupita and Joseph Quinn both give like stellar performances. I would even say his is probably my favorite performance this year so far. Not a strong performance here for men again. So men, step it up because it's getting embarrassing. So I give it a 3 out of 5. It's a good movie, just not great for me.
Top 10 potential for you?
Yeah, at this rate for sure.
Yeah.
Lower top 10. I guess for you, well, you've seen more than I have, so I don't know.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, I know, I agree. I'd say like lower top 10.
Yeah.
Like it might sneak in there towards the bottom half of my list. So we'll see. But there's still a lot of big stuff still to
Yeah.
come out. So
I mean, the biggest thing I want to see still is Long Legs, and then some of the other shit that's coming.
Alien Romulus.
Alien. Well, yeah, that's.
We Are
I got
Zombies.
hopes for that.
Check it
I
out.
got hopes for that one. Yeah.
Beetlejuice. What else?
Ooh,
we
I
got?
saw a
Well,
commercial for that today. I was like,
the biggest one, Joe, Nosferatu.
Nosferatu, that's right.
Cool.
Yeah, hell yeah. Christmas. Yeah. I don't even know. Hopefully we'll all be able to see that before year's end, but that's gonna be a tough one.
Terrifier
That'll be
3.
tight. Terrifier
Terrifier
3.
3, that's it, yeah.
No, October 11th. Yeah.
Which we will see together, hopefully.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
the
right.
plan.
What is more importantly, what does Letterbox think?
Todd,
about
I
this
forgot,
Well,
and you're always on top of it, buddy.
I got the assist. I'm like Wayne Gretzky. I get all the assists, man.
You're the man. All right. So currently over on Letterboxd, A Quiet Place Day One. Man, we're always on top of this, guys. A 3.3
Oh,
currently on Letterboxd. So we're right
Nice.
right in between there. So there you
nice.
have it.
Very good. Very good. Very
Yes.
good.
Alrighty. I think that's gonna wrap it up then for this week's episode. Next week, I don't even know what we got, Steve. What do we got?
So that's my pick next week. And we haven't done a ghost film in a little while, so I thought we'd go into a little bit of a ghosty film there. One of my favorites, as far as I remember. Who knows? Maybe upon rewatch it'll be different. And that is 2001's The Others,
Ooh.
starring Nicole Kidman.
Nicole Kidman.
Yeah, this is it's a
Dang
creepy
it.
one, but it's been a long time since I've seen it, so I'm looking forward
It's
to
been
revisiting it.
since. Yeah, sorry to interrupt you. It's been since probably 2001 since I've seen it. So
I've seen it
nice.
in the 2010s at some point, but
very
it's
cool.
been a while for sure.
Real question is, should I watch on tape or Blu-ray?
Ooh.
Because I got both
Ooh.
versions.
It's a good
Why
question.
not?
I don't know if the
Both.
effects are like if it's bad
I think it's
effects,
2001.
then
It's not
VHS would
like
be
yeah.
better.
There's not many effects in the movie from what I
Yeah,
remember.
I don't remember.
It's a
I
pretty
don't think there are
classic.
any effects in the movie
It's
actually.
a pretty classic
fog,
ghost
but-
tale.
Yeah,
I don't know, we'll see.
we'll see.
Cool.
All right. Yeah.
Excited.
I'm excited to rewatch that one too. It's been definitely some time, but I remember loving it, so I'm definitely excited for a revisit. All right. So make sure and watch the others for next week. I currently don't see it streaming anywhere free, but a very, very low rental of $2.89 on Amazon Prime and YouTube and whatnot. So go and check it out for next week's episode. In the meantime, you can keep up with the podcast. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Threads, just search the Horror Squad Podcast. You can email us anytime, the Horror Squad Podcast at gmail.com. But, of course, the absolute best way to keep up with the podcast is our Discord, completely free to join. Amazing community over there. We do movie club every single month. We do a ton of stuff, ton of horror talk, ton of non-horror talk. So join us over on our Discord. It is linked on our Instagram currently, or you can send us a DM or an email, and we will send you a link to join that Discord. And I'm calling out you people that have been messaging me recently. I send you links, and I see you being quiet. I see you, but don't be shy. Chime in once in a while, talk to us. We're all very friendly over there. We don't bite, so come over and join us on
Joe
the Discord.
bites.
I do, yeah.
Not
Not
You
hard.
bite, man.
Not too
I've been
hard.
bitten by Joe multiple times.
But yeah, don't be shy. It's a great community over there, great people. So yeah, join in on the horror talk over there. You can also buy merch, tpublic.com, the Horror Squad Podcast. That's also linked over on our Instagram. Bunch of designs, maybe a new design for Christmas time. We shall see. We got to talk about that, but we'll see. Maybe we'll put something out for that. Also, leave us a 5-star review on your favorite podcast app. That helps the podcast grow. And don't forget, important dates, October 11th to the 13th in Salem, Massachusetts with the cast of Hocus Pocus. Tickets are going fast for all the events, so head over to itsjustabunchofhalloween.com for that. If you want, I will say the one event you want to do is definitely going to be the screening, because we are going to be hosting that one. It's going to be really cool. The squad will be up there for the screening with live commentary on Sunday night at the Cabot Theater. But we'll be at all of them, so come over, join any and all of the events for It's Just a Bunch of Halloween weekend. All right, that's going to be it. We'll see you next week for the others. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.